Welcome to Navigating Narrative. We're a husband and wife team equipping you to analyze stories for yourself. Whether you're a parent trying to engage with your children over the latest movie, or a story aficionado who can't stop reading to save your life, this show is for you. As writers, we want to bring you the vocabulary and tools that novelists have to learn to accurately dissect, appreciate, and learn from stories. We believe that story analysis is for everyone. We won't pretend that stories are just for fun or too serious to simply enjoy. We won't pretend that stories are ultimately subjective and all just people's opinions. And we certainly won't promote a fear mindset where the media is out to hypnotically subvert your values and that the only way to fight back is to opt out. This is a show for story warriors. Life is a story. You are a character. Are you ready? Let's navigate narrative.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
It's early. We're still waking up a little bit. We decided that we were going to do Incredibles this time. The Incredibles, which was not on our list last time, I don't think. But it was a rough month, and I did not feel like inflicting Braveheart on myself.
Yeah. Or Hacksaw Ridge. Just anything depressing, violent. We weren't really up for it. So the plan is to come back to that next month. Still planning to do that, but we want to...
Or maybe we'll just keep you strung out forever.
We'll see. So for now, we're going to be doing Incredibles, something more optimistic and fun.
The Incredibles Pixar animated, been out forever. If there are any spoilers in this, that's on you because it's been out since like 2010, I think.
Maybe before that. I don't know. A long time.
You know I can't do math.
Anyways. Yeah. So what's the theme we're going to be covering today?
Yeah. So I feel like the themes of The Incredibles are family and heroism, like what makes a hero and how does family fit into that. I haven't actually it's all very, I've watched this movie like 10 times and I love it, but I haven't actually sat down to verbalize and particularly name everything that I love about this. So this episode might be a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Well, we were talking a bit beforehand. I think the main theme that we want to cover today is the lies that fathers are told about their value and how that can ruin their families and how that's explored in The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So The Incredibles, right off the bat, the first thing that you notice about it, the music that the credits or that it opens with is almost exactly the James Bond theme. It's that really jazzy trumpet action saxophone. It's an undeniable sound. Yep. You recognize it instantly. I haven't actually seen any Bond movies. Maybe that's going to be something I have to sit through at some point. But this movie is very intentionally a spin on the whole Bond thing because I feel like James Bond, his story, defined masculinity for an entire generation. And it was to be a cool man, a cool spy, everybody wants to be James Bond. It's the ultimate wish fulfillment movie. You want to be cool and smarter than everybody in the room, and you want to be able to get all the girls and just have girls swooning over you that you're not interested in, and you want to have the pick of the crop, and you want to have vengeance over your enemies and to always come out on top and just have this suave presentation where you're I'm the best of the best and everybody knows it. I work alone. Part of Bond's whole thing is that he's inscrutable and untouchable and unreachable, and his is a high and lonely destiny to bring the magician's nephew into this rather inappropriately. And so The Incredibles starts off with that music, and it starts off with the opening, well, not the opening scene, but pretty quick, Mr. Incredible, or Bob Parr as his alter ego is, he has the cool car with all the gadgets, and he has the suave hero's exterior, and he works alone. And he works alone. Yes.
Wait, hold on. Is my audio coming through?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. It was just, yeah. All right.
That was your long spiel for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very obviously a spin. Like it's referencing Bond. It's like a spy movie. Masculinity is lonely and cool, and in the beginning, Mr. Incredible has this encounter with this little, I think he's like a 10-year-old at this point, guy who's a 10-year-old boy who's from Mr. Incredible's fan club, and this little boy has decided that he's going to work with Mr. Incredible and be his ward. And he's this really super annoying kid who just shows up at all the wrong times, and Mr. Incredible is like, he literally says, "Fly home, buddy. I work alone." Like, that was his rejection. He's like, "I work alone. You can't be with me." And that was a totally reasonable reaction to that circumstance, I would say. If you're out there like fighting crime and stopping bank robbers with bombs, you don't want a 10-year-old tagging along. But this actually sets up the little boy as the villain in the future, Mr. Incredible's villain. And it also shows us that Mr. Incredible's, like, the seed of Mr. Incredible is what we would call the experiment in living.
Mm-hmm.
That he believes that in order to be a hero, he has to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
For a number of different reasons. He can't let anybody else into his inner circle, because that leaves him vulnerable in a myriad of different ways.
Yeah. So let's go back now, I'd say, to how things changed for him. So he was a superhero, and then we have some of the best world building in all of superhero fiction, where he gets sued for saving someone's life who was trying to commit suicide, and the person's really upset, and it unleashes this
barrage of lawsuits across the world against heroes for the collateral damage of their work.
And so the government steps in and starts legislating, and eventually the superheroes have to kind of go into hiding, so they're protected from legal action.
Yes, because the government was going bankrupt trying to field all these lawsuits.
Which is great. It's so realistic, and I really appreciate that level of realism and world building authenticity in something that's a little more lighthearted and silly than, well, I guess Marvel is pretty lighthearted and silly. And it's like Pixar does superhero better than Marvel.
Marvel doesn't realize that it's lighthearted and silly.
Yeah, they have problems. Anyway,
yes.
Pixar in its golden age was quite a golden age.
It was. So Bob, Mr. Incredible, marries another superhero, Elastigirl, whose alter ego is Helen.
Yeah.
Not alter ego. Yeah, no, alter ego. Her secret identity is as Helen Parr. Mm-hmm. And at the very beginning of the movie starts with separate interviews of both of them. And Bob is like, "Man, I wish the world would just stay saved because I would kind of like to settle down and start a family. Like, this hero stuff, I feel like I just have to keep doing it over and over again. I really want a quiet life, have some kids." And Elastigirl in her interview is like, "Come on, ladies, leave the saving of the world to the men. I'm at the top of my game. What do you mean settle down? What do you mean have a family?" Yeah. So it's a very classic feminist response. And one of the things that I love about this movie is often when a story wants to talk about an issue like feminism or masculinity or what have you, the story is about the issue, but this issue was only raised like in one sentence at the beginning, like contrasted between these two interviews, and the issue of family and work and balancing heroism and family, I suppose, like whether or not you get to have it, whether it's an either or if you can have both. And then real life just takes over, and obviously they get married, they have to go into hiding. They have, like, 15 years later, the story picks up, they have 3 kids. And it's actually Helen who has really, like, embraced being a mom, family life, and it's Bob who is suffering.
Very much, yeah. So he's had a really terrible insurance job Um, very relatable for people who don't feel like they've found their calling in work and just hate their work. I was wondering, do you think the story gives any indication of why Helen changed from being very independent to being a caretaker?
I think, well, I don't think you see this so much in the story, but I think you do see it in real life
Mm-hmm.
where a woman is able to click in that nurturing relational capacity a
Mm-hmm.
lot more easily than a man is. And there are different reasons for that. Some of that I think is biological.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Bonding hormones and
being
stuff.
pregnant and giving birth to a child literally does that to your brain.
Yeah.
But also something that we wanted to talk about was the way that what society says a man is
Mm-hmm.
really sets men as fathers up for complete failure
Mm-hmm.
in their family life.
Yeah. And so the message that's behind that is what you already mentioned, is very macho.
The message is behind what?
Behind
Oh,
the
society's messaging
society's messaging to men.
Yes.
Of course, it's a mix. It always has been. But
Mhm.
one common message is just very suave, macho,
Always in
independent,
control.
always in control.
You don't let anybody close so then nobody can hurt you, and you have
Yeah.
no vulnerability because
Yeah.
that's a liability. And
Yeah. So you mentioned James Bond is a great icon of that. I think also the American Cowboy, to a large degree,
yeah.
is that
Mhm.
icon. Not as refined and gentlemanly, but like the rugged
Yeah.
version of
Like a
that.
John Wayne type.
Yeah.
Blech.
Just all sorts of lone wolves identities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them can be more refined and some of them less refined, but
Mm-hmm.
they're both do-it-yourself, be in control.
Don't let anybody close to you because that's
Right.
a liability.
Yeah. And
Which is really, it's dressing pain and trauma and insecurity up as an asset.
mm-hmm.
It's romanticizing it
Mm-hmm.
because what these heroic figures are doing is just what every traumatized, hurt, rejected 10-year-old boy is doing when
Mm-hmm.
he's like acting out and being a bully on the playground. Is like, I'm in control. Like I'm at the top of the food chain. I'm the alpha. I'm the one who takes other people's lunch money and nobody takes my lunch money. And it's the same mindset, but it's like dressed up in more, not dressed up as a bully. It's dressed up as like
A hero.
a hero.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
It's flipping it completely on its head. Bully mindset, no, it's actually hero.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, Mr. Incredible isn't really a bully.
No.
He's not taking it out on other people, but this mindset is crushing him. So how does that look? So he's in this corporate job that he hates. It really is a bad job.
It's a terrible job. His boss is
the worst.
The worst.
Anyways, and so what does it look like for him at home? So you mentioned a big thing is his son, Flash, not Flash, Dash. Got that confused. Two people who run fast.
Mm-hmm.
And their names sound the same. Anyways, Dash, he has the superpower of speed.
Hence the name Dash.
Yes. And so he gets in trouble for misusing that, but his dad's really excited about it because it's greatness. It's true greatness. And he's upset with the real world being excited at these normal things that he's supposed to adopt now.
He says they keep coming up with more and more ways to celebrate mediocrity, but if somebody is really great...
Yeah.
And then Helen is like, hey, we're talking about Dash. This is not about you.
Yeah.
And it becomes clear that Bob is trying to relive the glory days in his mind and through his son.
Yeah.
He wants his son to succeed because he feels like success was taken from him.
Yeah. And if another way we see that is in his office at home, it's such a man cave. Well,
it's the walls are plastered with posters and newspaper clippings and like from the old days of him as this hero. celebrated, that all the thank you letters from all the people that he saved, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just made this shrine to the man that he was
Mm-hmm.
back in the days where he was celebrated, where he was appreciated, where he had control,
Yeah.
where he had honor and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got it in his mind that he can never have those things again
Mm-hmm.
because the world is different now.
Right. And it really made me think for the first time that I see that sort of decoration in not just men's rooms, but boys' rooms everywhere. It really is very shrine-like.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think what this show indicates is that often is a sign of hero worship and a sort of hero worship that is idyllic and unrealistic.
Yeah, it's a fantasy.
Yeah. You have some unrealistic hero that you want to be like.
Mm-hmm. Or you idolize sports cars because heroes drive sports cars.
Mm-hmm.
The people with all the money.
You have been sold to by many advertising agencies and you are their pawn.
Yes. And teenage girls do the same thing with like boy bands and things or other pop artists.
Yeah.
It's the idolatry of a life where we feel like we get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So for a girl, that's often admiration and appreciation from a really cool male figure.
Mm-hmm.
For a boy, it's more often a scenario, a life in which they get to have all the symbols of status.
Yeah.
Like they get to have all the symbols of respect.
Mm-hmm.
The girls want relationship and belonging, and the boys think that they want respect. And they think that they can't have that in a relationship. So they project it onto sports cars and all of that.
That's very true. Yeah. Instead of people actually respecting you, you have a fancy car, which means obviously people have to respect you.
Yes. So they settle for, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on in his normal life that just shows how much...
He's very disconnected from his wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's here holding the family together, and she's having a positive attitude, and she's doing the best she can. And they miscommunicate a lot, and Bob is sneaking out at night, listening to the police scanner, and trying to anonymously intervene in crime situations in an effort to relive the glory days. And Helen is like, "You have to stop. You have to stop." Like that was then. This is now. Now what we have is our family, and you are missing this because you're living in the past. Yeah.
And I think one way this movie is a little nuanced is that sometimes the decisions Bob makes are actually good decisions, even though they're made for the wrong reason.
For example?
So, for example, listening to the police scanner, like he saves people who are going to die from a fire. Is staying anonymous really worth those people dying in the fire?
Sure.
Probably not. I mean, yes, he does have responsibility to his family, but I think he can balance that to a certain degree. He may have to make sacrifices in both areas, but those people, he has a duty. He has a duty if he has the ability to save people and he knows that they're in danger to go save them.
I'm going to push back on that.
Okay.
I'm going to be controversial here. Okay. I'm going to say that while you're not technically morally incorrect, people have this idea, I think largely from the Spider-Man franchise, that power equals responsibility. And that is true, but that's not the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
I would say that responsibility begins in your given circle of influence.
Sure.
Which starts with your family.
That's true. That's a good point.
So if you're fulfilling a responsibility in the name of responsibility, but it's actually because you're living in the past, and you refuse to fulfill a very real responsibility that you have right now in your circle of influence to your family, that's not actually responsibility. That is displacement.
Yeah. So maybe let's take a little theological sidetrack and talk about the difference between responsibility and calling.
Go for it.
Okay. So I guess the idea of responsibility is I feel like I have this ability to do something. Therefore, I need to do it. I'm really good at
Knocking down buildings in
Knocking
Bob's
down-
case. He's a strong man.
Yeah,
He's got
he's strong.
strength.
I'm really good at busting through things and rescuing people. Or I'm really good at sports, and if I'm really good at sports, I could have an influence on lots of young kids who idolize me. Or I'm really, in my case, I'm really good at writing. So at least I try to be good at writing.
You are.
And so I need to write all these books. And I, in my past, was just obsessed because it seemed like this must be my calling because I'm good at it. So I have the power, therefore I have the responsibility, and everything is sacrificed at that idol of responsibility, altar of responsibility. But calling is different. Calling is a playground where you get to exercise your responsibility. And as you're faithful in that playground, it expands. And you can only really have this concept if you have a sovereign creator in charge of history.
Who made you for something very specific.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to be constantly worrying about what's going to happen to the world if I'm not fulfilling my responsibility, if I'm not doing everything. It's like, well, good news.
You don't have to do everything.
You don't have to do everything. God does everything.
But
and you have
are responsible to be who God is asking you to be in every sphere of influence that is brought to you.
Right. So once you understand your identity in Christ and as the person he's created you to be, and start seeing where he's leading you in a bigger picture than just what you're good at, then you're going to flourish. And then the things you're good at will find their proper place.
Yes. But, so, for instance, if somebody is like a peacemaker or a waymaker, a trailblazer, they might be good at a myriad of different things that they're going to need in that calling. That person, that trailblazer, needs a lot of tools. But when you realize, oh, I'm a trailblazer in every sphere of responsibility, a trailblazer in a family setting is the one who crosses the frontier of the things that have not been said that need to be said.
Yeah.
And the trailblazer in a workplace is someone who says, okay, this system is not working. We're going to figure out what needs to change. And the tools that you would use, you have gifts given to your calling in every area as tools for you to use. But oftentimes we take the tools and we make our entire identity about the tools because we don't actually know what the Bible says we are, like as children of God, as saved, and then individually, the specific person that Christ has made us and put us in that place for that specific time. Yeah.
So, weird question, because obviously God didn't technically create Bob. He's a fictional character, but imagine he's real. What sort of calling do you think he might have, and what does it look like to exercise his responsibility within his sphere?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So I would say that Bob is obviously he's very strong. He's a protector by his nature as a man, but more also by his nature as just his personality. He is incensed against injustice. He really wants for the little guy to be protected. Like whether it's helping some little old lady get her cat out of a tree, or stopping somebody from getting mugged, or later on in the story, he is contacted by this so-called secret government agency to come and neutralize one of their robots that got out of hand. This is the story that he was given, because it's causing destruction on the island. So as he's living out this heroic fantasy, he's also it calls to him because it's part of his nature to be a hero, to be looking out for the little guy. But to be a hero in his family, it would, okay, a really great place to start,
Uh-huh.
just being brave enough to tell the truth to his wife.
Yeah, about what he's actually doing.
Yes, not lying to her about, it's like, oh, I'm going bowling, when really he's moonlighting hero work.
Yeah.
He's scared of his wife.
Yeah.
He's scared of what she's going to say.
Uh-huh.
He's hiding this idol of the glory days, and he lies to cover for himself to her, which is the most unheroic thing I can think of. And because he's lying to his wife, he's split in his head. Like, these are the two parts of my life. I have my family and my wife over here, and then I have what I really want to be doing. And he's creating this dichotomy for himself instead of putting all his passion and energy and heroic instincts to tackling the issues in his family, the way that his kids are always fighting, the way that his wife is basically a single parent because he's just checked out, the way that they're financially kind of going down the drain. Like, they're not a great situation. Instead of putting his creativity and his strength and his resources into being a hero for his wife and for his son and for his daughter, and for their finances, for their life, he channels all of that energy into this counterfeit, trying to relive the glory days.
So one thing I'm getting from this is that probably if he wasn't hiding from his wife what he's trying to do, well, first of all, they could work together. That'd be great. Second of all, if he's putting his authority and natural gifting as this creatively, productively dominant type of person into his family and helping them out and into pursuing justice and stability wherever he can, he's probably going to have a lot more energy to put into his job, and he's going to leave that job, find somewhere he's better.
Somebody else is going to see.
He'd probably be a really good cop or something.
Yeah,
he could be a cop. Yeah, why not? He may not be a superhero, but he'd at least be a hero.
Yes,
and then he could go save people from buildings and be legal.
Yes, exactly.
But I think the reason why he's stuck in such a terrible job is because he's separated those two parts of his life.
Yes. He is not willing to face the monsters in his personal life, in his relationships. And so he's at the mercy of the corporate monster who is his boss.
Yeah, and that's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Because the more he...
monster at work beats you up, the less courage you have for the monsters at home.
Yeah.
The less courage you have for the monsters at home, the more the monster at work beats you up.
Oh, man. This is such a dark story. Look what he's done to himself. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But thankfully, circumstances intervene and he gets in trouble, and that helps him get out of trouble.
Yeah, he gets fired because he threw his boss through like 10 walls and put him in the hospital. Which honestly, I don't terribly blame him. And then his old pal from the government relocation program shows up, and he's like, Bob, we can't keep doing this. Like, we've done this for you so many times. I can't do this again. You're on your own. So Bob was like, okay, I got to figure out something. I'll figure it out. So he doesn't tell his wife that he was fired. And he's contacted by this so-called secret government program. They're like, we need you to come and take care of this robot that's gotten out of control. And he lies to his wife. He's like, so the company, InsureCare, is sending me to a conference. I'll be gone for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And Helen is very supportive. She's like, wow, that's incredible. They're finally recognizing your talents. You're moving up. This is great. She has that supportive. She knows who Bob is. She knows who he can be.
Yeah.
She's just been supportive. She's like doing her best to, her heart really is to see him honored. Which is what he wants for himself.
Right.
As well. But they have very different ideas of how that honor should be gained and what it really looks like.
Yeah.
So he defeats this robot. He meets this very sexy spy woman named Mirage, who's mysterious and skinny.
Very skinny.
Very skinny. And he destroys the robot. it's kind of hinted that there's something more nefarious going on with this so-called government organization.
Yeah.
Mirages may not actually be working for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Suspense.
Yeah.
And then he goes home, and having had, like, with that victory under his belt, his life completely changes.
Yeah.
He's enamored with his wife again. Their love life is heating up. They're enjoying spending time with each other, just around the house, doing family things. He's playing with his kids. He's doing sports with Dash.
Yeah.
He's paying attention to Violet. He buys these 2 like sports cars, and he starts working out, lifting trains in the train yard as a strong man does. His whole life just blossoms.
Yeah.
And one really cool thing, at the beginning of the story, the colors visually in the movie were very warm and yellow and golden and just this nostalgic tone. And then when you have the 15-year cut and it shows Bob like at his job, the colors are very blue and gray and just kind of monotone. And at this point in the movie where his life with his family starts picking up, the colors change again and they're more warm and golden, like he's coming back to life. And that's great. Like, that's super. We love it. We love to see. He's thinking he's going to get to have both worlds. Like, he's going to get to be a hero and fulfill that part and, like, play the loving dad and loving husband and the breadwinner and the provider in the way that he wants to, because he has this other outlet. But he's still lying to his wife. He's not telling her what's up. There's still this divide. He's still like, these are the 2 parts of my life. And because I'm now fulfilled in the hero work, I can be okay. I can make it through with the family side of things. And then yada yada yada, he gets called in again.
Yeah.
Elastigirl Helen finds out what he's up to and that he might be in trouble.
So how the setup works is he is now attacked by a bigger, better robot. He's in trouble. He actually gets almost killed, and then he sneaks back after he escaped.
You gotta tell them who the villain is.
Oh yeah, so
they actually built the robot.
So the villain who's been bringing him on the whole time is Incredible.
It's the kid that he said no to 15 years ago.
Yeah, so he goes by the name of Syndrome now, and his haircut is very punk.
He's like the most obnoxious early 20-something brat you've ever.
Yes. He's super obnoxious punk boy who thinks he's everything.
He's an inventor.
Yeah.
Super clever. Obsessed with himself.
Yes, he harnessed 0-point energy somehow.
It's a movie.
Anyways, yeah, so he has all these powers. He's more powerful than Mr. Incredible now, but he just wants to prove how awesome he is. So he's building this robot, testing against these superheroes, actually exterminating them.
A lot of superheroes.
Killed a lot of them.
In order to get to the point where he had a robot that was fit to challenge Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Because it's Mr. Incredible that he has the vendetta against because of his rejection.
So he built one that did defeat Mr. Incredible, even though Mr. Incredible didn't die. He clearly was no match.
Yes.
So now he's going to send this into the middle of some big city, probably New York, just because that's how it goes. And then he's going to step in and save all the people and be the hero. So
from
everybody,
the robot that he created.
Yeah. So everybody worships him because he wants to be just like Mr. Incredible, even though he hates Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, that's the plan. So, and Buddy, his name is Buddy. His name is Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
He really represents like the darkest of the dark side of that I work alone mentality.
Yeah.
Because he's completely isolated. He literally lives on our island. And
which the name of the island, by the way, is No Manazan.
No Manazan.
No Manazan.
No Manazan Island.
Yeah.
Yes. Little Easter egg there.
Yeah.
About the theme. In case you didn't get it yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Buddy Syndrome is very he's completely obsessed with himself. He's completely isolated. Everything serves his own agenda, his own emotional needs. Human life is nothing to him, clearly. He really represents the very dark side of that experiment in living that Bob passed on to him in the beginning, that a hero works alone. that a hero's work is only as heroic as the isolation and self-sufficiency of the man who is the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting how that dynamic works. I feel like that happens a lot with especially father-son relationships,
Mm-hmm.
but any relationship where you have a mentor figure that you end up hating,
Yeah.
but you end up becoming just like them, but with your own twist.
Yeah. You're like, I can't be like them, but because they hurt you so badly and defined you,
Yeah.
your story so integrally, you end up being a different flavor of terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, often it's the same lie, but it shows up disguised as something else. So you don't realize at first that you're doing exactly the same thing as the mentor you hate, but you are. Or you may not even hate them. Maybe you're just wounded by them. But,
yeah.
Yeah, often that's how that happens. And so on the other end of things, Helen, she's trying to figure out what happened to her husband. She's
found some of Mirage's hairs on his suits. She's like, oh, this long blonde hair is not mine.
She's worried about an affair.
She's caught in some secret phone calls. Yeah. She's suspicious. She's worried about an affair. So she goes to see their
fashion designer,
Mode, who is a legend. I love her so much.
One of the greatest characters in all of animation.
She's hysterical. Yes. Because Bob had gone to Edna to get his old suit patched, and Edna had ended up making the entire family a whole new set of suits.
Yeah.
And Helen was just asking Edna if she might know where Bob was, and Edna was like, no, come see. And Helen had no idea what was going on. So she shows up, and Edna is like spilling all the tea to her that Bob is moonlighting hero work again. And she's designed all these suits for the entire family, and Helen is like processing.
Yeah.
And she has a breakdown. She's like sobbing. She's crying. She's like, what am I going to do? I'm losing him. And E takes like the paper towel roll and like whacks her over the head. And like, is this even a question? You will show him that you remember that he is Mr. Incredible, and you will remind him who you are.
Yeah.
Go confront the problem. Fight. Win.
There's the best.
And call me when you get back.
Yeah.
Darling, I enjoy our visits.
Best speech ever.
Yes. So Helen has this moment where she's gotten so immersed in the day-to-day of family life, of being a mom, that she really, in a lot of ways, has forgotten that she was a hero and that she had enormous strength and creativity and resourcefulness.
Which is a big thing that moms struggle with, for sure.
I only have one child, and I can confirm. Yes.
We feel for you, moms.
Yes. So she has this moment where she has to like come back into this headspace of, okay, I know what to do with this. Like, I'm not a victim of this situation. I can go and confront the problem. We're gonna be okay. Like, it might be messy, but I know what to do with this. And so she gets on a plane and leaves Violet in charge of Dash and Jack, and she's like, I'm gonna go confront Bob. And she knows where he is because Edna put a homing device in each of the suits, and Bob was wearing his. So Helen is able to track him, but when she tracked him, the homing device in his suit alerted, and he was in the middle of infiltrating Syndrome's top secret computer base. Yeah. Trying to figure out what Syndrome is up to, and he set off this alarm, and Bob gets captured. Again, because he escaped from Syndrome the first time by a clever trick, and Syndrome thought he was dead, thought he had killed him, and Bob infiltrates the base and is learning all the top secret stuff. Yeah. So then Helen finds out that Violet and Dash have stowed away on the plane and are wanting to be part of whatever's going on. And then Syndrome shows up in the containment unit where Bob is captive and says there's a government plane requesting permission to land here. And he plays the recording of Helen requesting permission to land. And Bob starts freaking out because he's like, no, my wife is my wife is running into a trap. And Syndrome sends a bunch of missiles after the plane. And right before the plane crashes, Helen is recorded saying, "Abort, abort, abort, there are children aboard."
Yeah.
And Bob realizes his entire family
Yeah.
was just annihilated.
Right. And that's the first point where we see for Mirage, when she hears there's children aboard,
her line has been reached.
Yes.
Her line's been crossed.
Yeah, she's been okay apparently with annihilating superheroes, but children, which is understandable. I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
She's not a super important character.
Yeah.
She's just morally gray and
Yeah. So
secretly less morally gray than she presents.
Yeah.
So there's this, once Bob realizes that his family has just been killed,
Mhm.
he is able to, because he's a super strong man, fight against his restraints enough to grab. He was trying to grab Syndrome,
Mhm.
but Mirage pushed Syndrome out of the way, and he ended up grabbing Mirage.
Yeah.
And Bob was like, "I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't let me go, I'm gonna snap her neck. It'll be
Yeah.
easy like breaking a toothpick."
Yeah.
And Syndrome was like, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
He says, "Seems a little dark for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it." And Bob was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm really gonna do it." And Syndrome was like, "Do it."
Yeah.
And then Bob can't do it.
Yeah.
And Syndrome has this moment where he's like, "I knew it. Weak. So weak. Even when you have nothing to lose, you're weak, and I've outgrown you." And he walks away, and he launches his robot, and it's going to New York, and
Well, it's not actually New York. It's
it's
it was
Metroville or something.
Metroville. I know. I was like, Metrocity.
No, wrong franchise, babe.
Yeah.
Yes. And so then, obviously, Helen and the kids, they survived the crash. And Helen, because she's Elastigirl, she's stretchy. She stretches herself into the shape of a boat. And Dash, who has this super fast, speedy legs, he ends up acting as a speedboat. So they're able to get to the island. They find shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Helen is like, "I'm going to go find your dad." She tells them everything that's going on. She knows what's, as far as she knows.
Yeah.
And she had asked Violet, her superpower is force fields. She could do force fields and she could turn invisible. So she had asked Violet to put a force field around the plane when they were about to crash. And Violet wasn't able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until now, Helen has said that they're not supposed to use their superpowers because they're supposed to be fitting in.
Mm-hmm. And
Violet has internalized that a lot.
Yeah.
And she's angry about it, but she's still abiding by it. So she has this very fearful, like, the world's going to end if I use my superpowers. And Helen is like, okay. She has this moment where she has to be like, okay, this is the real world. Like, she says, remember those shows that you used to watch on Saturday morning with the bad guys? These bad guys are not like those bad guys. They will not exercise restraint because you're children. They will kill you if they get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
And Dash gets like all excited. He's like, yeah, this is
real adventure.
Real adventure. And Violet is like, oh my gosh. So Helen, she has a little bit of an arc throughout the movie. She's traumatized. She's disappointed about. Are you okay?
Yeah, I didn't set the levels up for these mics right when we started, and so I've been trying to adjust it throughout, and sometimes I've made it better and sometimes worse. But
okay.
When I edit it, it should level out and be fairly good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't remember what I was saying.
You're just summarizing what's going on. So the family's on the island. They're trying to meet up with their dad.
Yes.
There's basically just a lot of fun action for a bit.
A lot of fun action, a lot of sneaking, a lot of adventure.
So I think the next thing is they eventually end up together.
The whole family.
They're trapped, and Bob apologizes for his attitude.
Yeah. So,
because they're eventually all captured.
Yes, Helen breaks Bob out of the facility. But then the kids trigger an alert somewhere else on the island, and they end up in this big fight with Syndrome's goons, and then Syndrome shows up and puts them all back in containment.
Mm-hmm.
And they're watching on this big screen in front of them Syndrome's robot like start to emerge into the city and wreak havoc and all of that.
Yes.
And Bob has this moment where he's like, this is my fault.
Yeah.
You guys, my family, were my adventure,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was not present for you in that way, because I wasn't seeing you as my life, I went and pursued this other life, and now we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
Which is a really summarized it well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So they all have their moment, and then Violet's able to help them escape. They get out of the restraints. They go and they're trying to get to Metroville to save the world. And at this point, Mirage turns sides and helps them
get into the computer so they can get their rocket. And
yeah. So they fly out there and they eventually make it. And now, during this time, the robot was actually too powerful or too smart at least, even for Syndrome.
Showed up to try to like defeat the robot, and the robot ended up defeating him.
Yeah, it stole his remote to control it.
Yes.
Or it knocked it off him. So, and he was kind of...
No, he's out of the picture. He's like knocked out on a rooftop somewhere, and the robot is just destroying the city.
Yeah. So the Incredibles arrive. Woohoo!
Yeah, and it's just action pretty much from there on out. It's just defeating the robot. But there's this beautiful moment right before they go into battle where Bob is like, okay, Helen, you stay here with the kids. I'm going to go take care of the robot. And Helen was like, no way. Like, you're my husband. I'm with you for better or worse. And Bob says, I can't, like, no, I'm not strong enough. Like, you can't come with me. I'm not strong enough. Yeah. And Helen's like, what is this? Some sort of workout? Like, you're pretending to be a hero again? Yeah. And Bob was like, no, I'm not. I can't lose you again. I'm not strong enough. Yeah. And so it really comes out, like, what was under the I work alone. I'm the hero. I'm the man. Yeah. That terror of being hurt. Yeah. That terror of, and this is something that I see a lot where men and boys, fathers, really struggle to allow their family to be their own people, to take their own risks, right, to make their own mistakes and to mess up and to learn, because they have this, in some ways the fact that they have a family and a wife and kids is almost, it's kind of like those sports cars. It's a status symbol. It's proof to them. Even though they love their family, they think of their family as proof that they are worthy of respect, that they have done something worthwhile, that they're going to have a legacy, whatever it is, that they are successful as a man. They have a wife, they have kids. It's great. But they have a hard time allowing their wife and their kids to be individuals and to take risks, because that could put all of that in danger. And obviously you're the resident man, so please push back if I'm being too general.
I mean, it is a generalization. I don't think that's necessarily true all the time or always the reason behind that. But I definitely have seen that between men and women, men have a harder time, I think, letting their kids take, well, individual would be a better word. The women can often be more physically protective. Like, no, don't get up high, you might fall. And men are like, ha, keep climbing higher. Yeah. But there is, when you see children who don't get to express themselves, and maybe there's like a family gathering and the dad does all the talking, it's going to be it's normally the dad, not the mom, who steps up and becomes the culture for the family. Yes. And doesn't really give their wife or kids the chance to add their own piece to the pie.
Yeah, it's a counterfeit protection. It's controlling. It's, I'm going to manage the image of my family. And for Bob, when he admits that he feels like he needs to work alone because he's terrified that Helen is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
He has this moment where he realized that it was the relationship that he's wanting. Like, it's the relationship that is the most valuable thing to him. His love for her, the family that they have together. And the irony of the fact that that's what he was destroying.
Yeah.
All that time, when really that's the only thing he wanted, is really brought home. I feel like it becomes clear that that was always his priority, but that his whole "I have to work alone" mentality was really like the marriage almost didn't survive that.
Yeah. It's really interesting because they start off, he wants to have a family, settle down.
Yeah.
She wants to keep being a hero and all this. And at the end, they have this confrontation, and he realizes that he comes back to, it really was about the family. I was right at the beginning, but I let this other thing get in the way. And she didn't have so much of a dark arc that she went through, but she does come back to being more of that hero.
Yes.
But then it's in a context
yes.
of her family. It's not just all on her own, and it's more meaningful that way.
Yes. Yeah. So then they fight the robot together as a family.
And they win.
They win.
Because they're Incredibles.
They're Incredibles. Yes. And then Syndrome goes and tries to steal their baby.
Jack.
Yes. Who was left at home with a babysitter.
Yeah.
And in that confrontation, Syndrome gets, by his cape, sucked into the turbine of his jet, ground up, and that was the end of Syndrome. But Syndrome, he's like, so the Incredibles show up at the house, and Syndrome is there with the baby, and Syndrome is like, you ruined my life, you stole my legacy, so it's only fair that I'm going to do that to you. And again, there's this thread running through of family as legacy. Syndrome, the company that he was building, that was his family. Like, that was his legacy. That was proof to him that he had done, that he was worthy of respect. Like, he invented all these great inventions and was so clever and powerful and controlled everything, and that was his legacy. That was his family. And so that's how he sees family, and in some ways how Bob was treating his family. So again, Syndrome with that very dark twist on the same mentality of I work alone. So he's like, I'm gonna steal your legacy, I'm gonna steal your family, your son. And then it's just really the depersonalization of people. Syndrome is obviously taking it to a whole other level, but Bob started him on that journey with the same, like, I'm a hero because I'm self-sufficient. I'm a hero because I'm relationally cut off. I'm a hero because I'm isolated, and everything that I'm doing in my own strength, with my own self-sufficiency. And I love my family, but they're not really part of it. I thought it was really well done how they're very different people, but they are living the same lie.
Yeah, I think this whole episode has just shown me that as much as I loved watching The Incredibles, it's even better than I realized.
Oh, it's
incredible.
Incredible. I've seen that movie over 10 times, and I love it.
It's still good, yeah. A lot of those old Pixar classics you can just watch over and over again.
They did a second one. Unfortunately, it is trash. I was so disappointed. Yeah. Everything the first one got right, the second one ruined. So just don't even watch it.
Yeah. So there's one thing you miss, actually, at the very end, when Syndrome gets sucked into his plane and the whole plane blows up. The plane falls on their house, and it blows their house up. All his nice fancy cars, everything he built gets destroyed. They're back down to nothing. But they have their family. They got what's really mattered.
Yes.
And it's a little on the nose in a good way.
Yes, they're united. They've seen each other fight and struggle and get it wrong and get back up and win, and they've faced really big challenges in the family and outside the family together and come through it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then Helen decides to allow Dash to go out for sports, and
Oh, that's right.
Dash wins, and Violet gets the date that she was wanting at the beginning of the movie with the cool football guy who doesn't seem like he has anything between his ears, but I guess basically Violet has come out of her shell.
Yeah.
Dash is being given a constructive outlet. Instead of putting tacks on the teacher's chair, he's being allowed to express his athletic tendencies, and they're united in celebrating each other as a family.
Yeah.
And then at the end, there's this really hideous little pig underminer supervillain that comes up out of the ground and is like giving this really cheesy speech.
Yeah.
Because he's this supervillain, and then Bob looks at his family and they've already got their masks on, and they're like,
let's go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Roll credits.
So, fantastic movie. I feel like we pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say at the end.
There are so many different ways that you could slice and look at this story. It bears watching again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
You see something new every time.
Yep.
This is perfect.
Yep. Well, let us know what you think. You can email us at navigatingnarrativepodcast@gmail.com. And we are also on social media, and we occasionally may perhaps check if you leave comments there. I will say, if you want to leave a comment on social media and have me see it, do it on YouTube, because I'm on there all the time.
Yes, this is true.
And in fact, I was going to suggest for you all to subscribe to us on YouTube, because I'm thinking about starting to do some shorts where I just give brief comments on stories that we don't necessarily want to do a whole episode.
Like trailer
reacts, or if there's like one I don't feel like it deserves a whole episode, but I had one really worthwhile burning thought, or something worth knowing. So I might be doing a couple of those every month. So some extra bonus content that you won't get on this podcast, but you can only get by following us on social media. Particularly recommend YouTube.
It's very sneaky of us.
Yes.
We're doing the whole marketing thing.
Yeah. So yeah, get bonus features there. Like we said, we're still planning to do the episode of Braveheart versus Hacksaw Ridge, and hopefully that'll be next month. And I haven't read the full email, but it sounded like Josiah will be down to get together with us in September to talk about myths.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a great episode. We're going to be talking about real life myths, mythology, paganism, spirituality, how it's handled from Middle-earth to Marvel, everything in between.
That might need to be a series.
Well, we will drop a bomb on the internet with that podcast episode, and it may need some follow-ups.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, guys. We love you, and go be incredible.
Yes, that.
All right, bye.